What's up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Cold War AUG. This is a tactical rifle that was included with the Cold War integration into Warzone. If you guys do enjoy this video, please do remember to give it a like, subscribe if you would like to see more, and comment down below what you think of this AUG class setup and what weapon you want to see me cover next. So the AUG is one of 3 burst primaries, I believe, or I guess 4 if you count the KSP submachine gun. But in terms of rifles, we have the AUG, the M16, and the FR556. The FR556 just isn't it, and I feel like everybody knows that if you played Warzone throughout the course of the first year it was out. The FR556 was pretty garbage, so that leads people to believe that burst weapons in general are garbage in Warzone, and that's not necessarily true. The M16 and the AUG are actually quite good. It just turns out a lot of people are using not the best builds for them because of how confusing a lot of the attachments are for the Cold War weapons. In Warzone, they often don't do the things that they say they do on the attachments bars, unfortunately. Hopefully that gets fixed soon, but as of now, we're still in this weird limbo where a lot of the attachments have mysterious effects, and so a lot of people end up loading these weapons out incorrectly and then having a really poor result with them. So I think the AUG and the M16 are definitely viable. Are they top tier weapons? Are they going to be the meta? Probably not, but I would put them at like a C+ to maybe a B-, somewhere in that range, maybe even just a B. They're solid weapons. You can get good games with them for sure. It's not like you can't ever win a gunfight with any of these weapons. But if you run into something like an AMAX or a Kilo, you're probably going to have a hard time winning that gunfight if you're versus another good player. If you're versus people who aren't very good for you or aren't as good as you, then you can definitely outgun the AMAX or the Kilo with the AUG or the M16. We're going to be having similar attachments. You could take this AUG build and just put it on the M16 and it would also be very good. They're very good weapons. They both take about 7 bullets to kill, so that sounds pretty bad. It's like, oh, 2 full bursts and 1 bullet. But if you hit any headshots, it's going to decrease your shots to kill by 1. So if you hit any headshot within 2 bursts, it's going to be a 2-burst kill, assuming you hit all of the other bullets. So it's definitely worth trying to like aim upper body to head with these weapons, the M16 and the AUG, and you can potentially get a pretty good benefit and a pretty good decrease to your time to kill. Another thing that's going to make these weapons kill faster than you would expect is that we're going to be going for the titanium barrel because this also gives us the largest boost to our bullet velocity. This reduces or increases your fire rate as well. Your time to kill is going to be your damage and your fire rate. We can't really get the damage up. I know that the task force barrel says it does that, but it doesn't. You can't get the damage up. You can get the fire rate up, however, and that is going to decrease your time to kill. The range on these weapons is actually ridiculous, just like the DMRs were, and range is not going to be the problem when it comes to using the burst weapons. The biggest problem with using these burst weapons at range is consistently landing bullets out of your burst. The bullet velocity, even with the titanium barrel and the agency suppressor, isn't the best, and the recoil makes it somewhat hard to hit consistent bursts at range. If you're using something like an AMAX or a Kilo, you could just pull down slightly when shooting to reduce the recoil and you control it fine. With burst weapons, since all of the recoil kind of happens at once and you don't have like a consistent flow of shooting, it's really weird to compensate for recoil, and what this is going to do is just lead to like inconsistent bursts at range. When you get really far away, the damage is still ridiculous, but you might only be hitting 1 to 2 bullets out of a burst, maybe 2 if you're lucky. And so it's just going to take so many more bursts to kill because you're not going to be landing a bunch of your shots. So really far away targets in cars are not the ideal candidates for using like the AUG or the M16, but close to medium range, these guns melt. I almost think that they would be good when comboed with a sniper, but like that's kind of weird. I think it's just best to avoid long range fights with these weapons because they don't really shred up close. You could do it, but they're still going to lose out to most SMGs. So I've been using it with the MAC 10. And it actually has gone quite well, better than I expected. Like I previously said in the video, these aren't the best guns in the world. They're certainly viable though, and if you want something different to play with, since burst guns have been pretty irrelevant throughout all of Warzone, I would definitely give the M16 or the AUG a chance because they're viable and they're something completely new, like I just said. And they make the game feel very fun. So I'm going to have the class set up now, and then I'm going to let the gameplay play out. If you guys did enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys another time. Thanks for watching. So for our AUG class setup, we have the agency suppressor, like always, the titanium barrel. So like the DMRs, these burst rifles are also tactical rifles. So this titanium barrel gives you fire rate and then also gives you the biggest increase to bullet velocity that you're going to get for the barrels. So you definitely want to be using the titanium barrel. You lose out on some range, but like the DMRs, these tactical rifles have insane range, so you're not really going to miss out on much there. The limiting factor for range on this weapon is not damage. It's more just consistently landing multiple bullets out of your burst. So don't worry about that damage range. You definitely want to go with the titanium barrel. Field Agent foregrip, 45 round speed mag, and then 2x sight. And then I'm also using the blue dot reticle that you can purchase. This is a pretty self-explanatory loadout, pretty basic. The only thing that's potentially up in the air is the titanium barrel, because some people who don't know that it increases bullet velocity or don't know that the range is really good on the AUG or the burst weapons in general might go for something else, but the titanium is definitely the way to go. How, bro? I'm fucking genie, bro. When it comes to getting hit by cars, I have a lot of experience. We dodge those.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
I'm in the gas. Bro, am I fucking blind? I'm genuinely confused. Oh, he's trash. That's why I can see him blend in with the trash. I don't want to talk about it. It's inconvenient. Where was this dude the entire time? Oh, that was a guy at a bounty on. He just came back. Someone just got a loadout here sometime. There's like guns right there.
Requesting recon.
UAV entering the AO.
OT, imagine if I got my sniper loadout and just gun this kid. I don't know if I want to fight this. There's other people around here and this guy was decent.
Be advised, UAV is being
I'm just getting caught by somebody else, so we can maybe try to third party it. I just don't want this burst let also third party it. And seeming like he's just kind of waiting to see what I do.
Miss me?
Soldier incoming.
Dude. Cars are so... This guy the street sweeper, I think.
Ah, no mames.
There's a gallo. That was nice. I just like kept running around to try to bait him into fighting that.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
This is pretty scuffed. We have 6 opponents. 2 buildings in zone. I'm hoping I'm alone on this half of the zone. I'm trying to just clear it right now and see.
Gas is moving.
Merely moving your character in these situations can be a mistake. For it. Oh, that's not ideal. Alright, if there's a guy up there, he might not know I'm in here because of the airstrike coming in and I threw that nade to like mask the sound of my footsteps. New stem shot glitch? I think it got patched unless there's another new one. Haven't been on Twitter recently.
Get to the new safe zone.
I don't know why there's no moving zones in
Last
this
chance,
game mode
soldier.
either.
Kill or be killed.
But they patched it on Wednesday unless there's a new one. GG's. But yeah, unless there's another stem glitch, I don't know. I haven't been on Twitter. It's so weird not having moving zones in game. It completely changes everything. I feel like that's so RNG.